Good morning. Today I'm going to recap my interest rate predictions. I'm going to talk about oil and I'm going to talk about EVs and Doug Ford. First up, EVs and Doug Ford. Ford says there's no damn way tariffs on Chinese EVs should be scrapped. He's wrong. Yeah, I know. He's trying to protect jobs, so and so and so forth. You can't protect jobs against the march of innovation. Just imagine there was a typewriter factory here in Ontario and it was the dawn of computers. Do some of you people even know what a typewriter is? Exactly. Like, we're going to go towards EVs. That's what's going to happen. Even if you don't believe in climate change, which you really should, we're burning up the oil by burning up the gasoline. Don't forget, we use the oil for plastics as well. And we really need the plastics. Rather than fighting against this change, he needs to find ways to make this change work for Ontario. All right, on to oil. Non-OPEC oil supply to start declining at $60 per barrel. Where are we right now? $59.23 a barrel. Why is this important for Canada? Because it'll mean job losses in Alberta. That Northern Gateway pipeline to push all that oil to the Pacific Ocean, we don't need it. And for the supporters out there, we just finished a pipeline expansion that everyone seems to ignore. Costs a lot of money. And if we're going to build a new pipeline from Alberta, it should go to Hudson's Bay. That way it makes shipping oil towards Europe and Africa, stuff like that, a little easier. All right, let's get on to the interest rates. Powell says downside risks to employment appear to have risen, implying more Fed cuts are possible. Let's go back to last year. December 11th of last year, the Bank of Canada cut the interest rate to 3.25%. I said we'd be at 2.25% by the spring. They didn't do that. They only went down to 2.75 by the spring, and unemployment went up. If they had cut to 2.25 by the spring, this would never have happened. If you're unemployed and you've been unemployed for these months, that's why. Now, since January of this year, I have been saying that we're going to get to 2% by the end of the year. All the Econ 101 people were saying there's no way we're getting to 2% by the end of the year. But even RBC agreed. 2% by year end. And that's from this video. So they meant the end of this year. We're at 2.5% right now. There's an announcement at the end of this month. Everyone's expecting a quarter point cut, which brings us to 2.25. There's another announcement at the end of the year where they should cut another quarter point, bringing us to 2%. Why do I say that? Well, I don't know. Because there's a downside risk to unemployment? A severe downside risk to unemployment? Did I mention it's a severe downside risk to unemployment? The cost of the capital is still too high. In a world where these downside risks didn't exist, the cost of capital is still too high. But they do exist. Oh boy, do they exist. And then there's the avalanche of AI unemployment that we have to prepare for. The only caveat, they're prone to making mistakes.